The Bostonian is Matt Perrault.
This is our series.
The book is Dave Sherapan.
Pay him. Pay that man his money.
Together, they are the Bostonian versus the book.
You covered! You covered 12! I covered!
Follow the show on Twitter at Boston versus the book.
How do you like them apples?
Bringing you the best insight on sports betting news, Matt and Dave's daily picks, and an entertaining and unfiltered dive into the sports betting industry. Here's Dave Sherapan and Matt Perrault.
And here we go.
You guys saw it in the intro. That was a delay there at the end there for that fade to in. How are you guys? It is show number 700. Our thanks go to Sonic for that beginning, that intro. It is the 700th edition of the Bostonian versus the book. I didn't know if we get to 100, 200, but this is show number 700 after our Thanksgiving break. Thank you for being back with us, Brigade. More on you guys here in just 1 second. He is Dave Sherapan. I am Matt Perrault. We are live on the YouTube, as we always are, at Boston versus the book. The same with Twitter, X, that same account at Boston versus the book. Replayed on Sports Grid TV and Sirius XM channel 159. Happy belated Thanksgiving, Dave. How are you?
I'm great. You?
I'm good.
We survived it. We made it. They had the under when we started this. They had the under. They did. It was 250. 5 shows, 5 days a week, 1 year. 50 weeks would have been 250. That was the first number.
Right.
We made it to that. They said 499 and a half because you ain't going to make it the second year. They told us, literally, you're not. We're not. We're not with you. Props out. Remember the background, the props brought to you by props.com and all that stuff. Thank you to them for getting the thing off the ground. And they left us out in the water without a dinghy, without nothing.
A paddle.
Said, good luck, boys. Thank you. It's been fun. It's been real fun, but good luck. And we were out there just kind of, hey, we're still here. The next number was 600.
Right.
Because somehow you two idiots made it to 5. Well, you ain't going to make another. This is it. You're done. That's it. Nah, 700. 700.
I'll take your word for it on that.
Yep.
Well, it's funny because Friday, December the 13th, that's our 3-year anniversary.
Yes, sir.
So a lot of the things that you guys would expect from a 700 show, a walk down memory lane, I'm doing all that for a week from Friday. So you guys will get the full, going back to show number 1, going back to the first things that we used to do. I mean, you posted it on, I think it was Monday or Tuesday of last week with the meat curtains, and we'll do a top 10 list. We'll do some of the more funnier clips, all that stuff, all that work is going on at the moment, trying to, get everything together for a roll call Friday of, very epic proportions on December the 13th. So I don't want to go too far down memory lane today, just because I'm going to hold it for the 13th and our 3-year anniversary, because that is crazy that we've been here for 3 years. And it is Friday the 13th. Yes. Which is kind of funny. It'll be our anniversary show, but it has been an amazing ride to get to this point. And we would be remiss if we didn't thank you guys in the brigade who are here every day, who watch the show and listen to the show, who watch it on replay, who listen on Sirius XM, who have been a part of this incredible journey for the last couple of years. I know a lot of you guys like to say when you jumped in. I don't care if you jump in today. If today is your first day watching the show, welcome. First day listening to the show, welcome. If you've been here since December of 21, thank you. We can't appreciate you guys enough who have been with us every step of the way. But this is why we do it. It's when we don't do the show, it's why both of us get up on a Monday after being off for 5 days and we're like, whoa, we got a lot to talk about. We haven't talked, over Thanksgiving, over Black Friday, over the whole weekend. There's so much stuff to talk about, and we can't wait to do it with you guys in the live chat and with you guys on X, Twitter, and wherever. So thank you for being here. Thank you for giving, sorry, Will, but thank you for giving a shit about each of us, because
Amen.
it means a lot to us that you guys care enough to come back,
Mm.
wanting to be a part of this, that the logo that you guys all wear, there we go, that you guys all wear, flipping it around and having it be a part of your routine, right? You're wearing BBB hats to games and taking pictures and going overseas and taking pictures. It just means a lot. So thank you for being here. Thank you for being a part of it. And there'll be a lot more of that. Like, remember when Dave said X coming down the down the
Move
pipe?
the damn number.
All the t-shirt things that we have talked about all the years that we haven't. We have a stockpile of t-shirt slogans that we need to get rolling with.
We have a list. Point. We do. We got a guy to print them too. I got a guy. I think we're gonna maybe unleash something here for the holidays.
Gonna do this? Well, that would be to do that.
Get them out. Yeah, I think we're gonna get them out. We'll see.
Wow. Okay, that's news.
Yeah,
I was baptized at Stadium Swim.
Well, you guys remember? I mean, like, put something in the chat that you remember either at a live show, because we did a live show in Chicago.
Yeah,
and there are stories from that.
Right.
I mean, that was 48 hours of
fun
show one night. You know, we did the show and then we just stayed at that joint. We stayed at Over Under and we closed the place. I mean, it was amazing. And then you and I did the did the Wrigley Field, and
right.
Skeens almost, pitched 6 innings of perfect baseball. I mean, it was unbelievable.
Furries, anals, and meat curtains.
If
you're an OG, you understand all three of those.
You understand? That's a hell of a parlay right there, Whitrock. That is a hell of a parlay. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
goodness gracious. Oh, first, I don't remember that. You know what? If you guys can pull that, you'll help me. What was the first title shot reference? I have no idea when that became part of the lexicon of BVB. Wow. That would be something. You guys pull that date.
It's crazy because, like, these are things that I've been talking about title shots since I was a young contender coming up in the ranks. Like, I mean, that's how we referred to it. So,
yeah, that was cool when you surprised Kylie at her game on March 1st. Two years ago. That was awesome. A cool moment. That was fun.
That was great. That was
great. That was a good moment when you just showed up. Hi. Like, wait, what? You're in North Carolina.
So, like, what the? Yeah.
Driving in.
And then I got to hold on, bro. I got to get the equipment. Like,
right.
Good teammate. Man.
It's good stuff. So we'll do all those.
I mean, one I'll never forget was the day of the shooting.
Oh God.
UNLV. Like, I mean, that kept me sane. My daughter was down there. Like, us
in the
library.
In the library.
Yeah. Like that was so many. There's so many things that happen in life, not just sports, like in life,
right?
That we've had the availability to talk about on this show. I mean, we've had people go through births, passings, surgeries.
Well, that was fun, Jay.
Things.
Going to Power Slap, that was fun.
Oh, Jay,
we did that.
That was fun.
Going to Power Slap was fun. Remember when Newbie destroyed his green screen? Remember the whole thing fell?
Yes. He was so fired up. I remember. That's one thing too I'll never forget is the chair.
The chair is one of those moments that you almost had to be present to fully understand the comedy of that chair, just because it became this like iconic thing. Everybody was like, no, Sydney sat there, leave it alone. And it's been funny too, because because Angie and after that day, I followed Angie and I followed Sydney on Instagram, and it's just funny to watch their lives. I mean, Angie now is a real estate agent here in Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
So she still does her bottle stuff, but she also is a real estate agent. I think Sydney's going for her 4th degree now, which she posted. She's going for her 4th degree.
I reached out to her, said happy Thanksgiving. We'll let you know when we're down there again to be back on the show. And she's so nice. She's like, oh, she's so, thank you. Happy Thanksgiving to you too. I can read her tweets and hear her voice.
Correct. Yeah.
And,
which one, Fist Killer? We've been to 3. Which week of interviews?
Oh,
I think LA, if I had to pick of the 3, I think LA was the best because we got a chance to talk to McAfee and all of his guys.
Yep.
So I think that was the most fun in terms of just like the epic interviews that we had. I think the second time when we went to LA, I think that was the best. Phoenix was cool. Was LA 1 or LA 2?
LA was first.
Oh, so then the first one was the best then. LA was the first.
And then Phoenix, we got to talk to AJ, and we had Nikki on, and we had we didn't have Pat on the second time.
No.
In Arizona, but we had Nikki and Diggs and AJ.
Yeah. Gumpy came on the first.
That was fun.
LA.
Yeah, Gumpy on the first one, and it was crazy.
Katie's blackjack interview last year was pretty good. That was pretty funny. You were talking about playing blackjack. That was fun.
Good. Yeah, Vegas was great. Like, I mean, the Super Bowl shows were ridiculous, and Hat Tip to Sports Grid last year. We sat on the set there and did all those interviews and all that other stuff. It was fun. I mean, we've had fun, and we've made a lot of headway with a lot of people. I mean, Pharrell comes on here. He's different on here than he is anywhere else. And Smalls for the people. Smalls for the people. That's true.
She's been on one, man. Like, she's been on Instagram.
I mean, she was on in the summer when she was.
I think she's back. She's back east now, I think.
Yeah,
she may have moved.
She's not in Michigan anymore.
I think she may have moved. I don't know. She's on the East Coast because she keeps on writing about how much being on the East Coast is better for her health.
Oh, was Michigan the East Coast? No,
that's Midwest. It might be Eastern time zone, but that's Midwest.
Another one of the many conversations and debates that we've had on here about Mid-Atlantic, East Coast, West Coast, Midwest.
Pittsburgh being in the Midwest. Yeah, the people like to steal. But it's okay. It's okay. You guys can have all that. You guys can have
the
all
horse track a few weeks ago was great.
It was. That was really good. Yeah, that was. I mean, in terms of backdrops, that's the best backdrop that we've ever had.
Maybe.
Yeah, Emerson coming on. I mean, poor Emerson. He's having a really tough football season. His quarterback got knocked out yesterday, and just a tough.
He's going to be here in 2 weeks from today, right?
Yeah, he keeps on texting us and reminding both of us that he's coming here and getting very frustrated with us because I don't know what he wants us to do, but he wants a red carpet rolled out.
I don't know what to say when he sends us a picture of him with his eyes closed in a sauna in a towel.
Yep,
like Emerson, you look great. It's literally just a towel.
I know, but like when that picture pops up, like when Amanda sees that, she goes, "What? Why? Why is a grown man sending you and Dave a picture?"
I don't know.
I don't know either. Like once is funny. Like one time in the sauna is like, haha, I'm in the sauna. I now have probably 15 pictures of a grown man on my phone. In a sauna.
I would have been under that total.
Oh no, I got a lot. I mean, of all Emerson,
I know.
He sent me 15 pictures of himself going through all these different, poses and now his eyes are always closed, which makes it way worse.
Way worse.
It makes it way, way worse. So I don't know why he just is like click, because I hope he's there by himself, because that's like one of the big no-nos ever to do in a sauna is to take a picture, even of yourself. You're not supposed to do that. That's very really? It's at least in my sauna. Yeah. It says absolutely no photography or video allowed at all. Because people are really they're basically naked. This is very uncomfortable to be in a group sauna.
One of the few things that is just one of them spaces where anything goes and anything hangs out and anything is I remember you remember the first time you were in a sauna? Yeah, male sauna.
Yeah, mine's co-ed. You can't really let everything hang here. The lifetime I go to is co-ed.
A co-ed sauna?
Yeah. So I mean, all male sauna. I mean, the first time I saw at the YMCA, I was probably 7 or 8 years old. I was in the men's locker room with my dad. And I remember just thinking to myself, one day I'm going to look like that. That sucks. How the hell?
Yep.
You look that shriveled and old and just
I remember my dad took us down to the Rivers Club. It was an upscale gym downtown.
Okay.
That he didn't really belong to, but he knew everybody. Maybe my dad did. I'm not sure. But he's like, we're going down to play racquetball and I'm bringing the boys. Yeah. So he took me and my brothers. And I remember the first time I went in that sauna and everybody was in there. And I'm like, this is wise. Hold on. Whoa. What are we doing right now? Hold on. It smells great in there. I love that sauna smell, but why is everybody junk out? Hold on. Who's supposed to be sitting in here?
Yep.
Hold on. And I
Yeah.
remember.
And some guys at the co-ed, some guys actually do wear just a towel. And it's often really awkward when they do that.
Oh, geez.
It's like, hey, dude, like, come on, man. Like, we don't need that. And I don't know what Emerson wears. I wear shorts when I go into mine, and I just bring a spare pair because I just sweat right through it. So like I sit on a towel with shorts on and I just sweat right through it, and then I change and go home. I don't know what Emerson does because all we see is basically from the nipple up is what he's taking the picture of himself in the sauna. So I don't know. You know what, Crubby? There's a place in Vegas that has just opened up that I'm actually really considering. It's just not cheap to do the infrared sauna. Like it's expensive. It's like $60 to $75 to go and do it.
A session?
So yeah. So the infrared sauna it's the new super healing of your cells sauna that everybody's doing.
Really?
Yeah. Text me, Cubby. Go ahead.
Text me. Yeah. Put it in the group text.
Yeah.
You and the 5-0. You send us the 5-0 pick. Here we go.
Nice job. Well, he needed a bounce back spot. He needed to get.
Oh, that's good. Listen, a lot of people had a good week Saturday.
Yep.
Saturday was a lot of people's good day. Sunday, not so much. Average. I don't know.
What I can't stand is I can't be hot in college and pro at the same time. It can't happen. It's like positive, negative. I can't be. So I'm 9-2 in my last 11 bets in the NFL. And I think I'm 3-8 in my last 11 bets in college. So like it's diametrically opposed. Like I cannot be hot in both. It pisses me off beyond all belief that I can't be hot in both. But that's just the way that it was. Tough weekend, tough Saturday, great Sunday, great Monday, great Thursday, great Friday. Everything went perfectly in the NFL for the whole week. And then nope. Things did not fall well for me in college by any means. So speaking of college, let's get into what happened this weekend, really going all the way back to Thanksgiving. But Michigan beats Ohio State 13-10. It sends your Penn State Nittany Lions to the Big Ten championship game. You said you did not want to play in this game.
I know.
And you are playing in this game.
I know.
So how do you feel about the fact that your team is playing in this game? We'll get to the actual game itself in a second, but what do you feel about just Penn State getting here thanks to Michigan's win over Ohio State?
Listen, it's cool to go to the Big Ten championship, and I actually found my last Big Ten championship Penn State t-shirt over the weekend.
25 years old? How old is that thing?
No, they just won it like 6 years ago, 7 years ago, something like that. Still fits, just for the record.
Okay.
I mean, long term, they got to play an extra game, and they got to play Oregon and their dogs. And, the first impression is
how long is your fan base going to accept your coach losing? How many big games? How many big games is your coach going to be allowed to lose before your fan base says that's enough?
This is a good opportunity. I mean, if they lose to Oregon, but then they beat Arizona State and beat Boise State or UNLV,
you think
which
could
be
the
path, which isn't the loser to the Big Ten game, the 5 seed?
Why?
According to all brackets I've seen, the loser to Big Ten championship is the 5 seed.
Wow. I'll put up a bracket here in a second. I don't know if I agree with that, but okay. I think a 6 seed is possible.
The 6 seed is possible, depending on how the games go.
But what if James Franklin loses both games, loses to Oregon, and then loses the playoff game?
They're going to lose a home playoff game?
Yeah.
Well, they'll be coming with the pitchforks if that happens. But, I don't know if
because they haven't yet. They've allowed him to do this. I mean, they're mad at him, but you never hear the talk. Like, it's in the water in Pennsylvania. It's not really a bad thing, but you guys don't change coaches unless it's like absolutely it has to happen. Steelers don't. Penn State doesn't. It's interesting because most programs, I think, would look at James Franklin's record in big games with the amount of money Penn State has and the lack of championships that guy has produced and said, that's enough. James Franklin, that's enough.
Yeah, I mean, everybody wants to come firing people for their jobs and all this and that, but I don't know. I mean, again, if you have somebody better, okay. But I mean, he's built a pretty good program and has maintained it pretty good and has been able to keep getting close, which at least you have to be there to then go next.
Juice, I don't think so. He gone if he doesn't go deep in the playoffs. I don't know. I don't know if James Franklin. I don't think James Franklin's gone.
Not even close.
I don't think he would be. I think James Franklin's going to stick around.
I think he'll be fine. I mean, if he likes coaching there and he's making a ton of money, where's he else is he going to go? You want to go to USC?
No, not him. I mean, I don't think he wants to go anywhere. I think he'll stay. I'm just saying, I look at Penn State the same way I look at Iowa. It's the same situation. It's an accepted 3rd, 4th, or 5th place finish every year. You just accept it. Like there's never any like you're going to deliver this, or you'll lose your job. Either you're going to beat Ohio State and beat Michigan and get up and be here every year, or you're gone. And when you get to this spot, you've been gifted this spot. You got a complete miracle to be in this spot. You better go win it. Penn State's not beating Oregon.
It'd be crazy if they do, because then they'll be the 1 seed because Georgia's going to beat Texas. They'll be the number 1 seed overall. Boy, that will piss people off. That would be great.
Why? Well, because they lost to Ohio State? I don't think that. Why would that piss people off? That shouldn't piss people off.
Oh yeah, how
the
could Penn
1
State
seed?
be
I don't think
because they'll be the 1 seed overall the whole.
That's
tournament.
okay. I don't know. I'll be okay with that. If Penn State, they've earned that. I think that's okay. I mean, their schedule is what their schedule is. I mean, Penn State's got 1 loss to Ohio State, and I mean they almost lost to USC, but they didn't. I don't have a problem with Penn State being the number 1 seed overall. No, I think that's they would have earned it. They would have beaten Oregon, who's been number 1 all year.
Right.
So you can't say, who did they beat? They beat Oregon, which was considered the top team in the whole thing. That's a big win. And they would have won the Big Ten, which is the best conference in college football right now. So, I mean, I can make a case for the SEC, but you can say that the Big Ten champ, given all the turmoil in the SEC, a 1-loss Big Ten champ should be the 1 seed overall. I don't have a problem with that. No, people can poke holes in it all they want, but there's plenty of frauds out there. I mean, Penn State's going to have to prove it. Now, again, you got to go and take on a team in a dome that's going to be faster than you, that's going to have, some pretty big advantages outside of your defensive line in your defense. Oregon's going to need to Penn State's going to need to keep up with Oregon's speed. That's my biggest question. This game was outside in weather. Oh, Penn State all day. This is indoors on turf. Mismatch.
3.5 and 50 is around the side in total for this. I don't know. I mean, I was going back and forth with a bunch of people that work in books about the number on Saturday, and I'm like, you guys should make it 4.5 and take the first bet on Penn State. And they're like, wow, really? And I said, I don't know. What do you think? Anyone that had 4.5, they all grabbed it. So, all the guys that work at the books, and they're like, that's too high. I said, I know they're going to put 3.5. Okay, that's fine. But they asked me my number. I said, I'd make it 4.5 and take that first bet. And that's what some books local did. Other ones put a 3.5, let it sit there. I can't wait to watch it. I was going to go. Still debating it.
Really?
We'll see. Yeah.
Oh my.
But saving it, I think we're going to save it for the game, like the bowl game. So
which bowl game?
If they win Saturday, they get a bye.
Right.
And they're in one of the 4 venues.
That'll
be the trip.
They'd keep them closer to the East Coast. They won't send the number 1 seed across the entire country. They play in Atlanta probably.
Okay.
I can't see them taking Penn State and sending Penn State to the West Coast. That would be unfair. Unfair travel, unfair costs. Like, you're the 1 seed. You get everything. You get all of the benefit. So I think they'd go to Atlanta to play in the Peach Bowl.
So even then, so if they lose, they're probably the 5, hopefully. If not, they're the 6.
And then they get sent out west.
And then, no, they get a home game first.
Right. And then, home first.
And then they go to one of the other venues, which, between you and I, selfishly, I'm hoping it's Rose Bowl or Fiesta Bowl.
Yeah, Fiesta Bowl would be likely.
Easy trip and
likely,
100%
how
going.
many people in Pennsylvania live in the Phoenix area? You get a lot of alumni, a lot of people buying tickets and going.
I mean, it's the biggest alumni network in the country. So, like, if they play in the Rose Bowl, I mean, it doesn't matter to buy all the tickets.
Right.
So, I don't know. I was excited to see Michigan win. I mean, they played that game perfectly.
They really did. Ryan
Day
is
perfectly and took advantage of every mistake that Ohio State made. Every one.
4 straight losses to Michigan for Ryan Day. Does he want to survive? Like, do you think he wants to coach?
He's won almost every other game that they've played in the Big Ten.
Did you listen to that press conference though? Afterwards,
for like 2 seconds,
he basically compared it to dying. He said, like, I love my family, but like outside of my family, the thing that haunts me the most is not beating Michigan. Like, he can't do it. Like, it doesn't matter what he wins. He has to win that game, and he can't win that game. He's 1-4 in that game. He's lost 4 consecutive times. Urban Meyer went 7-0 against Michigan.
Yeah.
See, this is the opinion. He's gone unless he wins the national championship. I don't know if he has to win the national championship, but I think he absolutely must make the semifinals.
They got to win at least a game. They got to win a game.
Yeah, 100%.
I would think so.
What do you make of what happened after the game? Michigan planting the flag at midfield.
What are they doing? What are they doing?
Who was that? Because people are mad at me. They're calling me soft and a snowflake and everything else because I said that I cannot believe Michigan did it. I can't believe the Michigan coaches didn't stop it. I can't believe Ryan Day watched the whole thing go on. I can't believe the police had to break it up with pepper spray and the coaches weren't the ones in between the two teams. Like, it was malpractice. It was a failure of leadership on both sides that thing went down the way that it did.
And it wasn't the only place it happened.
Correct.
So it's just bizarre to me. One, they're AstroTurf field, so you're not planting anything. Okay, let's just think about this. If you lose the game, shake hands and go in the locker room. Go, like, whatever they do on your field, you could have prevented by winning the game. You're making it worse by going back over there and making a big fight about them planting a flag after they beat you on your field.
But why? This is the angle that I cannot understand. So people are saying that if you don't want Michigan to do it, win the football game. Okay, I understand that point. But I cannot understand why people think that Ohio State's players were somehow in the wrong for reacting in that way. Like, in life, there are cause and effects to everything.
Right.
Your action will create a reaction. So when you go as a Michigan player and you take a flag and you're going to plant it in the middle of somebody else's field, what? You think those guys are supposed to just sit there and take that? Like, I can't figure out why people are like, well, Ohio State players overreacted. They
shouldn't have been on the field.
Never should have happened. I mean,
like
to me.
Well, they shouldn't have been on the field. So, like, do it after the fact. Like, let them clear the field and go do it. Like, whatever you're going to do. It's a silly thing anyway. I mean, they fought in the North Carolina State game.
They fought in the Arizona State game, too.
Over a flag.
In Arizona State, they took the Sun Devil trident and stuck it in the middle of the field. Like, it's
Florida State and Florida in a game where you won 2 games all year.
Right.
Florida State. Like, you're going to get mad about this?
And Sark stopped it from A&M and Texas because Texas players were going to do it to Texas A&M.
Right.
And Sark said, we're not doing that. Like, there is a level of winning with class. Okay. There's a level of acting like you've been there before, like Bear Bryant said. But there's also this idea that, like, in life, if you're going to have somebody spit in your face and you just sit there and take it, I cannot rip Ohio State's players for doing what they did. Like, the level of disrespect that is, if you have any pride, like, that, it's the same thing like on the internet when people say
pride, win the game.
Well, that's fine, but if you don't win the game, that's sports. One team wins, one team loses.
Right.
What you don't expect is that someone's going to go ahead and take your face and stick it in dog crap in front of the world. Like, you're going to have a reaction to that. You're going to have a prideful reaction. Like Ryan Day said, we got a lot of prideful guys. They're not going to take that. And I don't have a problem with Ohio State players saying, no, you aren't going to do that.
Get off the field.
Ohio State players or Michigan players?
Yes, Ohio State, get off the field. You lost. Go in the locker room.
See, I disagree with
have
that.
the fight in the locker room.
With whom? With Michigan
Each
players?
other.
Well, no. See, I agree. I think that's my point. I don't blame the Ohio State players at all for doing that. For somebody disrespecting your house, there's a reaction to it. Like, this is what happening on social media all the time. Like, someone comes at you, you get slapped hard, and all of a sudden it's like, oh my God, I can't believe you did that. I can't believe.
Right.
Like, wait a minute. You said that to me first. I didn't come at you. You came at me. So, like, Ohio State players jumping Michigan players, don't put the flag down. Don't start the whole thing.
I mean, you can't expect it to not happen if you're Michigan guys. You can't expect that to not happen. Like, you are poking the bear.
Literally. Yes.
Like you are literally inciting a riot. So,
which is why I think Michigan is wrong.
You have to know what's coming if you're going to do that stuff. But
I just think it was wrong for Michigan. That's why I blame Michigan for starting it. And everyone's like, well, then win the football game. Well, I get that. But there's also a level of civility and sportsmanship that I expect. And I also expect Michigan coaches to step in and go, what are you guys doing? Like, what do you stop? Like, you're not doing this right now. Like, this is a hated rivalry that goes back 100 years. Like, there's people who really take this way too far. You can't do this. Like, you can't allow your players to do this. And so now it's on next year is on a whole different level next year, because now who knows what Ohio State's going to do. And I saw it afterwards.
I wish it would carry over. Like, there's like maybe not even half the guys are probably going to be on the team next year, right? Like, there's so much, much changeover,
right?
That it does become a lot more personal in these situations. I mean, that one guy, Captain Tom, whatever, for Ohio State, like 4 years in a row, he lost the Michigan.
Oh yeah.
He's
the only member, I tweeted this morning, the only member of the 2021 Ohio State recruiting class to have beaten Michigan is Quinn Ewers, who did it at Texas.
Oh, yeah. Oh. Hey.
That hurts. But what the hell was Ryan Day doing? Like, Ryan Day is caught on tape. It's an unfortunate cut to him, but the camera's cut to him and he's asking a staffer, what happened? Like, what happened? Like, dude, like, I know your mind is spinning because you've lost 4 consecutive times, but there's a brawl going on your field. Like, there's a literal brawl with police and pepper spray. Get going.
It was so weird.
Do something.
He looked like Eberflus did at the end of the game on Thanksgiving. Like, wait, what's going on? What's happening? What, are you not paying attention? Like, the clock is running out. Your guys, you still have a timeout. Nobody's calling it. That's what happened on Thanksgiving. And oh, by the way, there's a brawl about 30 yards away from you with all your guys running back to the field instead of running back to the locker room. And it's going to escalate. I mean, those things when you see the reporters on the field after, like their videos, those are big men wearing equipment, going at it, looking to rip each other's heads off. That's alarming.
No one used the helmet as a weapon, which was what I was watching for. I was like, is someone going to take their helmet off and start swinging? Because that's going to clip people. Because there's little tiny reporters, 5'6" reporters all around.
Right.
And some 6'5" guy starts going like this with a helmet. I was like, this could be really bad, really bad. And someone tweeted out saying, like, why is everyone so upset? Nobody got killed. You know, it was just a little pepper spray and a bunch of guys pushing and shoving. Okay, there is something to be said for that, but it's also an ugly look. It's a bad scene. It's the end of the game. You call it the game. Well, the game is over. And that game turned into, you know, it wasn't just there, like you mentioned. It wasn't just that. We saw multiple times, multiple things where it just went to a different level. I hope that stops.
It will. They won't be allowed to do it no more.
You sure? I hope you're right. No,
NCAA will say it's it. That's it.
How they fought with $100,000 fine for Michigan and Ohio State's going to stop that? Come on, that's nothing for those schools. That was the fine. No one got suspended. Everyone's playing next week. No one's being banned. Everyone's playing in the playoffs. Each school got $100,000. Come on, that's nothing.
I don't know. They're going to take great measures to stop, I think, from allowing it to happen. Whether it's, you can't have no flags on the field. You can't. I mean, they're going to go through and who knows? I don't know. I just think we saw the last of it. It's going to be used as an example of what not to do. It will be the random occasional thing that will happen. It's bizarre that, like, all right, we're cool. We won. We're going to plant a flag. Just walk off the field like you won a game. Like, that's enough. You don't need to do all that, I don't think. And then
Scoreboard.
you certainly don't need to be the losing team and go, like, start chaos. I mean, get in the locker room. You win with class, you lose with class. And it felt like in every place, not just Michigan, Ohio State, it was too much.
Too much. That is going to be a very interesting couple of weeks, I think, with Ohio State as they prepare for whatever playoff game they've got, because there's a lot of people questioning Ryan Day, a lot of people questioning what the coach did. Do the players want to play for him? Like, there's so much going on right now.
They may benefit from this.
Correct.
They lost the game. Now they get a bye. They don't have to lose to Oregon again.
Fair. Good point.
They don't have to game plan for that. They're going to get a home game, most likely.
Against a Patsy.
I don't know if that's warranted or not. That's to be determined, whether they actually get a home game with 2 losses. I'm not sure.
So there's your on 3. Andy Staples has put out this projection for Ohio State will be at home against Tennessee.
I mean, they're favored in that game, but they were favored by 20 against Michigan. I guess they could lose. But, I mean, that's a huge advantage.
Huge.
And then they get a second shot. The way that breaks down, they get a second shot at Oregon, who will have to, play in the Big Ten championship and already has the game plan to beat them at home.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. This may benefit them.
Could, for sure. But then they could lose to Tennessee. And then,
to be honest, I love that path for Penn State.
Of course, you play Boise State. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Because Scatterboo is the only real weapon you got to worry about with Ohio State. In Arizona State, and your defense will stop the running attack for Arizona State, and then you got to throw. And Arizona State's now one-dimensional, and you can beat them. So that's a big and you have a warm weather team in December going to Happy Valley. Enjoy that. So then you play Boise on a neutral. Give me a break. I mean, I'm sorry, Boise, UNLV, you have to do everybody a solid. Like you
baby.
Do everybody UNLV has got to do everybody a solid. You got to beat Boise. That Boise State team cannot be a 4 seed. They do not deserve a bye. Not even close. That team's not good, guys. I watched it in person. That team gets crushed by anybody of any talent. Top 5 team in college football is going to boat race Boise State. Boat race them. They're not good. They're not that good. They're good for a Mountain West team. Okay. Yes. But them as a 4 seed with a bye, get out of here, man. Get out of here. They've beaten nobody. What? They get the 4 seed because they hung close with Oregon early in the year? That's why they're getting the 4? Come on, bro. It's horrible. That's just ridiculous for that.
It's Friday night in Boise. 4.
UNLV has not lost on the road. They are a better team on the road than they are at home. We'll get to that game in a second. But Georgia, 8 overtimes against Georgia Tech. 44-42.
So you hate the baseball extra innings. The hockey is silly for regular season for sure.
This is third on the list, though. This is number 3 in the stupidity list. This is 3.
This might be 1.
2-point, deciding it on 2-point converter, 2-point
This
plays.
might be number 1.
It's really bad.
You watch it and you get to this point, and again, my barometer a lot of times is neutral, casual fans in my house, women.
Mm-hmm.
Jessica, Mrs. Kinsig, little Kinsig, watching the game. We're hanging out. And that was high drama. I mean,
God, it was unbelievable.
I mean, you want to talk about, I am all in. Watching the game the whole time.
Because I'm on my couch.
Georgia Tech.
I'm on my couch yelling at my TV set when Georgia Tech scores the touchdown, the end of regulation to tie it. Go for 2. Go for 2.
Please.
Go for 2.
Just
Don't go to overtime. Don't give the referees a chance to screw you. Don't do it. Go control your own power. And that's Shane Steichen yesterday with the Colts. Control it. You're on the road. End it right now. You get to determine whether or not you win or lose, not something else. 8 overtimes later, they lose. I was like, damn it.
And living in you scored first and then they scored. And then you scored second to keep it going. And And you're just watching it going, this is incredible. Like, really? We got to this point?
High drama.
I wanted to do the same thing. And when the little one turns to me and goes, so they just keep doing this until one makes it and one doesn't? And I said, yes. And she said, that's just dumb. And I can't even, I have no explanation. I have no explanation for it. So that was great as far as like what could happen. The ramifications of Georgia losing was epic. It would have been, everything would have looked a lot different. That bracket would have looked a lot different.
Oh, I wanted Georgia to lose so badly. I wanted Bama to lose, and I wanted Georgia to lose so badly. I wanted just to see what would have happened if both Alabama with 4 losses and Georgia with 3. And Joe Testor, who I think is the best college football play-by-play guy, I wanted to like tap him on the shoulder and say, shut up about saying Georgia's automatically in. Kept on saying Georgia, if they lose, they're still in if they win the SEC. Like they kept on like making sure everybody knew that Georgia could lose the game. I was like, I don't know about that, Joe. I was like, why is the SEC?
Because they were in.
Why is that game not? Why does a championship game not matter for your losses? I can't understand that.
No,
why do we just
that's their
past
ticket
that?
in? See, if they lose
won
to
it.
Georgia Tech, they still are going to the SEC championship, and they're still playing to win to go on. So they
Right.
could. That's what I mean. They could have lost that game to Georgia Tech. It wouldn't have mattered. They were in the SEC championship, and they still were going to have an opportunity to play in the playoff, win or lose. So they were taking away somebody's spot. If not, but like now them losing the SEC championship, they're still in. They're still
Where?
in.
As what? 11, 12?
Yeah,
They've got 3 losses.
they're in.
I know. Why? Why is that just automatic? They have 3 losses.
You can't penalize a team on the fence
Why
for
not?
losing a championship game.
Why can't we? I don't understand why that's.
I don't know.
Why can't we penalize a team for losing a game that they should have won, or at least they should have? If you have 3 losses,
the game is pick 'em. The SEC championship is pick 'em, and it's Texas's shot at Georgia again. We got Stevie Anderson, Mr. Anderson, here saying there's no chance in hell they lose or they beat Texas. I think there's a lot of people that have that opinion that Texas is going to get them.
And if Georgia loses, they have 3 losses. Why, as a 3-loss SEC championship loser, why can't they be jumped by somebody else? I don't get that. I don't get why that's not like it's impossible. It can't happen.
Who would you jump them for? You can't jump them for Bama because Bama didn't get to the championship game.
But Bama beat them. And Bama's got 3 losses. So
to me, the championship.
I know, but when you lose, that's a math equation as you get to the championship game. Like, so you had 2 losses. Now we have 3. So when I evaluate your resume at the end of the entire season, I don't care when your 3rd loss came. You have 3 losses. Bama's got 3 losses. So Georgia gets in because of why? They had a better regular season. They were able to get through it that way. Or an Ole Miss team. You're over an Ole Miss team. Ole Miss beat Georgia. Why isn't Ole Miss over Georgia at 3 losses?
Tyler Wyatt in the chat. Good to see you, Tyler. Happy post-Thanksgiving. Championship loss for your 3rd loss trumps 2 losses in the regular season.
Okay, but there's 3 losses we're talking about in the regular season. We're talking about,
but the championship loss for your 3rd loss
but why?
is not the same
Okay, but
as
why?
Ole Miss's 3 losses, as the same as Alabama's 3 losses.
Why?
I mean, when you start measuring the losses, you have to measure team played and how you lost. I mean,
so if Georgia
you can't
loses to
hide
Texas,
that Alabama lost to Vanderbilt. You can't hide that.
Okay, I can't hide that, but I can't.
Ole Miss lost to Kentucky.
Yes, true, but Georgia
3
lost
losses.
to Alabama. Georgia lost to Ole Miss, both on the road. Bama lost to Vanderbilt, but Vanderbilt wasn't bad. Vanderbilt wasn't a horrible football team. I mean, Vandy won some big games. Vandy won against Tennessee as a double-digit favorite. They beat Tennessee at home. So I just think it's funny. Like I think it's all, to me, when you lose a conference championship game, if you lose it, that's 3 losses. I don't care. It's who you lost to that matters. You can say, well, they have a better, who they lost to is a better caliber. Okay. I can listen to that, but I'm not just putting Georgia into the bracket just because they made the SEC championship game. If they lose that, they should be evaluated the same way everybody else with 3 losses. How many 3-loss teams are you putting in? And then there's Bama, Ole Miss, Georgia, and Miami. And what do you do with a 2-loss Miami team? Because they lost to Syracuse, and Clemson's now in the ACC title game. And if Clemson loses to SMU and SMU is in, you put Clemson in or is Clemson out?
That's another debate. See, the problem, and Mr. Anderson said it, we'll give the guys a poll right now. Should they do away with the conference championship games?
No.
All right, put yes or no, because I think you'll get a lot of yeses in the votes, and I think you'll get a lot of no's in the votes. I'm interested to see. We got a bunch of people in here, and again, thank you for being here. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. We're trying our best to grow the YouTube channel. If you guys have any particular ways that you know how to do it, email the show, askthebbb@gmail.com. Go to the website, thebbshow.com, all of the above. To find us, help us grow. Again, it's show number 700. We put these polls up during the show. It's the benefit of watching the show live, along with the interaction in the chat. Should they do away with conference championships? I think they should and will.
Wow.
Soon, because what is, other than a bye,
Automatic bid.
benefit?
Automatic bid. I want automatic bids. I've always wanted automatic bids, and I want automatic bids. And I think you should do a title game to determine the champion on the field. Now, I will say this. I don't like that the conferences have decided to do away with the divisions. I am a big proponent of divisions. I think there should be an East and a West in the SEC. There should be a North and a South in the Big Ten or whatnot. There should be 2 separate divisions, and you play everybody in your division, and then you play cross-division games. I preferred that situation a lot more than saying, okay, I got 18 teams in my conference. The top 2 are going to make it through some cockamamie, tiebreaker situation at the top to guarantee my top 2 teams making it to the conference championship game. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. I like the fact that you got to play. If I win my division, I get in. It's like the wild card in baseball, right? You win your division. How do you get in? You got to get in with a wild card, get in some other way. I like divisions to win the division. I don't care if it sucks. If your division sucks, the AFC South sucks, but someone's getting in the playoffs out of the AFC South. Right. I'm okay with that. Like that's fine by me. Winning your division should mean something to me.
I mean, they had the divisions, and we ended up with Michigan and Iowa playing in the Big Ten championship. Michigan's 17-point favorites.
But that's not okay. I'm okay with that. Give Iowa a shot to go and shock the world. Michigan just did it as 17-point favorites. Georgia Tech was 18.5-point dogs. They went to 8 overtimes with Georgia on the road. Like lightning can strike. It may not happen consistently, but I like divisions. I like conference championship games, and I like automatic bids.
I just feel like hasn't been, like, they didn't think this out before they just did this. They just threw it all together in hodgepodge, like this whole thing, even with the tiebreakers.
Yep.
And I mean, they got lucky that it played out the way it did to get this. But I mean, there's a team like Indiana that's in. They're in.
Indiana, they shouldn't be, but they are.
Indiana's in the playoff.
I know they shouldn't be.
They're 11-1, right?
They played nobody. And the one team they played, they got smashed.
I would argue that maybe the best team, one of the best teams in the SEC right now, is South Carolina. No,
correct.
And South Carolina.
I wish South Carolina would play Indiana. Watch what happens if South Carolina plays Indiana. I would love it. I would love it. It would be so fun.
South Carolina playing anybody at home could beat almost anybody in the country right now.
Indiana is not good. Just not. Miami's not good either. I'll give it to you. You want to say who Miami? Fine. Miami's not very good either. I'll give you that entirely. Yes. I agree. But Indiana in this playoff is a joke. It just is. I mean, you're putting it again, as this thing develops, as we grow with this, your schedule strength is going to matter a lot more. Meaning your non-conference schedule is going to have to be good. If you're not going to play Ohio State or Michigan, if you're Indiana or Penn State, you're not going to play the 3 best teams in the Big Ten. You better go play somebody in the non-con, or we're going to keep you out and say, sorry, you can't get in. I mean, look, Stevie, here's how. if Indiana played in the Big Ten West and won the Big Ten West and then went to the Big Ten championship game and won the Big Ten championship game, I wouldn't say a word about their schedule. It wouldn't matter. We don't have that right now. We have Indiana getting put in because they avoided the top 3 teams in the Big Ten.
So you know the same exact argument exists for Texas, right?
If they win the SEC,
Texas didn't play one team in the top 6 of the SEC except Georgia. Not one team in the top 6 of the SEC.
Where's that stat? So there is your schedule. You don't want to make that argument either for your team. That argument hurts you.
Well, Illinois was ranked. Where did they get this?
But this is wins versus current ranked teams. 0.
Current ranked teams.
Penn State's 0. Indiana's 0. SMU is 0. Clemson is 0. Miami is 0. Boise is 0. Gamecocks 4. Texas 1. Notre Dame 1. Tennessee 1. So like that argument hurts a lot of teams as to taking on top quality opponents. It helps South Carolina's case. If you want to talk about teams, we're talking about South Carolina. They got 4 wins over current ranked teams. It's a pretty good schedule if you're South Carolina.
Where?
Right now, ranked.
I know, ranked where?
In the top 25.
17?
AP,
top 25?
yes.
Who cares?
Why? We're talking about top 25.
17 might as well be 38.
No, I disagree with that. Your schedule is top 20 is top 20.
They
I care.
rank all the SEC teams at the top anyway.
But that
doesn't matter.
It has to matter.
Wins versus ranked teams.
Oregon
now?
is 1. Penn State is. Look at you have 5 teams before this weekend. You had 3 of the top 5 in the Big Ten. 3 of the top 5 were in the Big Ten. So how does it not matter?
Oregon, Ohio State, and Penn State.
Yeah. So you're saying the SEC schools are always ranked at the top? No, they're not.
To Michigan. Michigan's not a good team.
Michigan's
not ranked.
Michigan's horrible. Michigan's not a good team at all.
Horrible.
Michigan's not a good team at all. Michigan's not a good team. Michigan lost at Illinois. Michigan's not a good team. Like they're not a good team.
9-3.
They're not a good team.
Lost to Ohio State, Penn State, and Oregon.
Yeah, not a good team. You pick anybody good that they've played, they've lost to.
Their 3 losses are to the top 5 teams in the country.
Correct. So they're not. So that win doesn't matter to me. That win holds no value to me.
Illinois' 3 losses.
Correct. So the win.
They only lost to 3 teams.
So
1,
beating,
2, and 5 before Saturday.
Illinois
is a good team.
Illinois is not a very good team. No, they're not. They're an average football team. They're a middle of the road. But anybody good they played, they lost. So they beat Michigan. Michigan's not good. Michigan's not a good football team.
Because Alabama's better.
Bama beat Georgia.
Bama lost to Vanderbilt in Oklahoma.
They beat Georgia.
Neither one of those teams are ranked. They lost to unranked teams.
I think Vanderbilt should be ranked. I've been high in Vandy. Vandy's good. I put Vandy. Vandy's top 25 team.
You can spin the arguments any way you want.
No,
we need to play it on the field. You can't deny that a team went 11-1, and you go.
I'm confused. What argument are you making? Are you for Indiana to get in or not? Because if you're using the same argument, you're hurting Penn State with this argument with Indiana.
Indiana went 11-1. They're in.
And they played nobody in your conference. They didn't play anybody. You guys played a better level of competition than they did. And you guys didn't play anybody either. Like Penn State's schedule was weak too.
By what measurement?
Penn State's schedule is weak by any metric. Anybody of the 3 different polls and the 3 different strength of schedule brackets you come into.
To go 11-1?
Is it? When you don't play, you played one team, Ohio State, and you lost. Like it's not that hard when you're Penn State. You should be there. Like
wow,
you should be there. You should be where you are. We talked about it in the preseason. We said your schedule was advantageous if you won every game that you were supposed to and lost to Ohio State, you'd be in the playoff. We said that back in August.
Right.
That's exactly what happened. You won every game. Right. Indiana is 14th in power rating for Tyler. They're just not a team I would put into a playoff. Like they're not one of the top 10 teams in the country. Indiana's not sticking around this thing very long. And I love Signetti. I love the story. I love all the different transfers. They came in. They played all their games at home. They played a very advantageous schedule. It's an awesome story for Indiana. It's an awesome building block for them for the future to say they got their coach locked down now and they can get some money to spend now to go and use some of their big $10 to go and be a competitive football team. But they're not sticking around this thing long. They're not a real contender to win this thing. They're not legitimate to be in this thing. And so, look, I can't wait to see if we're right, LL. You and I are on the same same boat on this. We'll see. The SEC, if the final 4 teams are all SEC schools, you and I will sit back and go, we told you so. We'll see.
Well, that's what you guys do all the time. I mean, last year, Michigan beat Alabama. Nobody gave him credit. Big Ten team.
I bet them. What do you mean?
I know you did, but I'm just saying in general. And Washington beat the other SEC now team in Texas, and they were a Pac-12 team, and now they're a Big Ten team. Last year was a Big Ten final. Last year. It changes fast, boys. Keep up.
But
this
Harbaugh's
SEC
gone.
bias.
Harbaugh's gone. I mean, it changes fast, but Harbaugh's gone. Done. So if Michigan stayed at Harbaugh,
the SEC
it is done. But
dominance in all of the preseason rankings and
I disagree.
The culture has changed. What happened to LSU? Where they been?
Well, that's Brian Kelly, though.
Let's evaluate the meat and potatoes of the conference.
Okay, James Franklin is the worst big game coach in football.
Georgia is good. You just said they're not good. They're good.
Georgia?
They're not good. They're good.
I don't think Georgia's anywhere near. I don't think Carson Beck is anywhere near, and the receivers for Georgia are anywhere near what they have had. Their defense is still their defense. They still have first-round picks all over that defense. They're still very different. I'm not
denying they have great talent. I'm just saying you have to reward. You opened it up to 12 teams. You did this.
And look at your schedule strength.
You have to
look at your schedule. Look at your schedules.
I don't care about the schedule strength.
You have to care about the schedules because who you played.
What?
Because you can't allow an Indiana team to have a schedule this week, to have a 73rd best schedule in the country, and then be impressed because they went ahead and won every game, but the one good team they played and they lost. That's the argument of saying that like a SWAC team should go ahead and be a 1 seed because they go ahead and go 16-0 in the SWAC. Like it doesn't. That was the argument on Gonzaga for years that they're playing in the West Coast Conference.
The SEC people act like the Big Ten is the SWAC,
but the
they
SEC,
act like the Big Ten is the SWAC.
But going on the road in the SEC is way harder than going on the road in the Big Ten. It just is. It's just,
what's that?
Going on the road in the SEC is way more difficult than going on the road in the Big Ten compared to there's 3 schools in the Big Ten that are hard. Yes, there are 3 schools that I would go, okay, they're tough to play at. Okay. But I've seen them. I've watched them. Iowa's a fun place. Everyone says, winning at Kinnick is hard. Okay. If you're good, it's not, because Michigan, Ohio State, Penn State do it all the time. So, like, it's not that hard to win at Kinnick. So everyone's like, oh, my God, Kinnick. Everyone's like, Ames is really a hard place to go ahead and play. Okay, sure. Depends on who you are. I watch teams, Oklahoma, Texas, walk in there and win there all the time. So, like, it's how good your programs are, because we're talking about national championship. Not talking about week in and week out. Not talking about an October Saturday between 2 teams. It's hard to play there, sure. For Minnesota to go to Iowa, sure, it's hard. But from a national championship perspective, winning it all, the top 3 or 4 teams can walk into nearly every place in the Big Ten and win consistently and do it and have done it when they're given the chance to do it. So hopefully what I want is non-conference games where Penn State would consistently go play the top teams in the SEC. Like Penn State, go to Ole Miss. And I want Ole Miss to go to Ohio State. I want a benefit, a force, because it happened in college basketball, where the committee said your strength of schedule is going to matter. So if your conference schedule stinks,
everybody gets in, though.
There's a penalty.
There's
not really, not everybody. Not everyone gets in.
8 bids, and over half of them are at large. There's 6 bids up for opportunity here. There's 6 bids. Historically, they had an edge, Tyler. They do. I'm trying to tell you, it's changing very quickly.
It's not changing when coaches leave. I mean, Michigan's not going to be what Michigan was. Harbaugh's why they were there. Yeah, Michigan's got big problems.
They got the number 1 recruit. Tom Brady's out dropping bags.
That's great. They bought it. Let's see if the kid can play. I don't know if the kid can play or not. Let's see if the kid can play. The kid's got to go play. Like, okay, you're going to spend big money.
Number 2 team in the country on the road.
That's Ohio State, Michigan. It's a rivalry game. It's Ryan Day. Okay. Ryan Day's not a good coach. Okay, from Ryan Day, there's James Franklin's 1 for choking in the big games, and Ryan Day is 2. So it's like it's just coaches who can't win big games. So, and most of them have resided in the Big Ten of late. The SEC's had a couple of them, but Kirby Smart tends to win every big game he plays, except for Bama. And Alabama had Nick Saban for years and years and years to dominate everything.
Yeah,
things have changed.
They had the best boosters. They bought the best players, and now everybody can do the same thing they've been doing for decades. It's great. It's even. It's going to change.
Yes, I think
it's all out in the open, man. It's wide open. Business is business.
This can't be a serious question, Zach. You weren't really asking me if Indiana beating West Illinois 77-3 means anything to me. It means absolutely nothing to me, Zach. So I hope
66-0 over Purdue over.
That's awesome. Woo! Purdue won.
Diving in the snow and all that.
Purdue won one game all year, and they lost every other game after that. They beat Indiana State 44-0, and then nothing else.
I don't know. I mean, they're going to do the same thing with SMU. You know, SMU are going to besmirch and say that their accomplishment is nothing. You win every game on your schedule except one, you deserve a shot in the playoff.
Why? It's a crap conference. Why?
Isn't that what the purpose of the tournament is? It happens in college basketball.
Yeah, win your conference. If SMU wins, they're in. I have no problem with that. Your conference champion absolutely gets an automatic bid. That's why I'm so big on automatic bids.
So they lose and they're out. And who's in?
Yeah, you lose.
Clemson's in.
Clemson gets in because they have the automatic bid.
And then Miami's out.
Miami's out anyway. You can't lose at Syracuse. That's it. Miami's out. I can see you later. Miami, you can't have the losses because the come from behind.
What was their other loss?
But the comfort behind miracles they had this year, they didn't dominate. They didn't look great. They got lucky. They're down 25 at Cal. They rallied. They had the Hail Mary situation at Vatech. I mean, there are so many things at Miami that they could have had 4 or 5 losses easy this year.
But who did they lose to?
Their first loss was
Georgia Tech.
Yes, right? Yeah. Georgia Tech
just took Georgia balls to the wall. 8 overtimes. That loss looked that bad?
Yes.
It still looks that bad.
Yeah, losing to Tech is one. Fine. You get one slip up to a decent Georgia Tech team. Fine. Losing at Syracuse, up by 21 points. You blow it again? Nah.
On the road?
Goodbye. See you later. Miami has no schedule. Miami's played nobody. They're out. And I have a plus 250 ticket on Miami to make the playoff, by the way. So I have money on this. So it benefits me. Miami getting in, I make money. There's
a lot of buzz, a legit buzz that Alabama's getting in. There's people that are betting this for real, big money.
To win the national championship.
No, just to make the playoff. Right now, if you have it available wherever you're at, go look on your book to make the playoff. Yes, no's. Alabama's minus 115 to make the playoff. Yes.
Damn.
Or minus 120.
That's just.
And there's people that I know and respect that saying they're going to be in there.
11 seed, according to this bracket.
Right? That's right. There it is. And they get Notre Dame at Notre Dame. Holy crap. Will that be a monster for ratings?
It's a TV show at the end of the day.
Oh, my God.
At the end of the day, remember, it's a TV show. So if I'm South Carolina or I'm Ole Miss, I would be apoplectic if that were to happen. Yeah, if Bama gets in over me, I would just be, and if you're Alabama, you better go and do something. You better go and you better win that game against the Irish. Irish might be playing the best football of anybody in college football right now. I'm not sure I want to play Notre Dame. They're playing really well. Wow. In Ontario, it's minus 160.
Wow.
What? Minus 186.
So I'm telling you, super steam. Somebody knows something. I'm telling you, it's one of those ones where I'd be in the book going, somebody make the number for Alabama against every team because they're going to get in. Have a number ready after Saturday.
All right. If that's the case, they get SMU. They're in the semifinals. Yeah, Bama's in the semifinals. They're going to beat the Irish. And they're going to beat SMU.
Are they?
Yeah, I think they will win. Yes. On a neutral, they'll steam SMU. They'll smack SMU. The Irish on the road will be hard, but that building will be half red. There'll be so many Bama fans who will buy their tickets like crazy.
Does SMU beat Clemson?
I think that they do. Yeah, I think they do beat Clemson. I think SMU will beat Clemson. I don't think Clemson's very good. I haven't been a fan of Clemson. I know. I think I did say I think Notre Dame is playing well, but I think Bama beats them. I think you give Alabama a chance. Let's talk about 9 lives. Look out. That would be scary. To put Bama in this thing, again, if Bama gets in, bet them to win it all. Bet them to win it all because you're going to get crazy odds on them to win it all.
So. I don't think they will. I'd be first in line to bet that no. They didn't look too great against Auburn.
I think it would be a amazing opportunity for Notre Dame, for Alabama to face Notre Dame, knowing that there's no pressure on them. There's zero pressure.
Bama, no pressure.
They weren't supposed to be in the thing. Kalen DeBoer, there's no pressure. It's just all that weight. You throw all the weight off you. You're in. Go play. That's
There's going to be. They lose 3 games and then they go to Notre Dame and lose. There's no pressure. A new guy down there for the first year is not.
No, he got in.
No pressure.
He got in. Once he gets in, there's no pressure. He wasn't supposed to be. Every Bama fan I know thinks they're out. They all think they're out. Like,
of course, yeah.
They all think they're out. So like they're all.
I don't see how they get in myself. I would bet that no, but like that's why the books are taking it. You know, they're taking they're letting people bet the yes. I mean, they're not shutting it off.
If Bama's in, what's their number? 6-1, 5-1? What do you make them win it all?
No, they got to win 3 games to get to the championship.
Okay, so what's the number?
I mean, roll it over. That's double digits.
I'm going to get to bet Alabama in a playoff setting to win the national championship at 10-1.
Yeah.
Oh my. Yeah, the value on that, bet that just a straight value play. You'll never see that. You'll never see 10-1 on Alabama to win it all. When's the last time you saw that? Like,
it doesn't matter what you've seen in the past when you're measuring it now. I mean, yes, it's the uniforms. Yes, it's the school. It's not the same.
It's 20-1. It's still Jalen Milroe. Like, you still got a dude who can put a Superman cape on him and look out. I mean, it's still a team that I wouldn't want to play. Like, look at the bracket. You go through this and just pick teams as to right now, who do you want to play on the list until you get to Alabama? Like, Boise's number 1, SMU's number 2, or Indiana. Boise's 1, Indiana's 2, SMU is 3, Arizona State's 4. Look, you get 5, 6, 7 down the list before you get to Alabama as even that you want to play. You don't want to play Alabama in a setting like this, home or on the road. It's Alabama. You don't want to play them. No way. I don't want to play. I want no part of the Crimson Tide. You get matched up with them, you're going, oh, shit. I got to play Alabama.
I don't know.
You're not happy. There's no way you're excited about having to play the Crimson Tide.
Oh, I'd be more than excited. If they were coming to Notre Dame, going to be overjoyed. If that's the matchup they get, come up. Let's go.
You can run the football on everybody.
Oh, I know.
So cold weather doesn't matter to them.
No, it won't matter at all.
No, that's Alabama. Not in Indiana. No. Wrong school. You think that matters? That's not going to matter. They're going to run the ball, right? And then have fun dealing with the Williams kid. If that kid could learn how to catch, he'd be a first-round pick right now, and he'll be able to catch eventually.
Right.
He's the best wideout in college football at 17, but he's got 9 drops. He leads college football in drops. Once he catches the football, that kid is unbelievable. So play action wise, if you haven't seen Alabama, you haven't played Alabama, you haven't seen Milroe. Oh boy.
How many points they score against Oklahoma 2 weeks ago?
Oh, that was 2 pick sixes. Yeah. On the road against OU, which is one of the hardest places to play in college football.
How many points did they score?
3.
I can't remember.
3.
Not a touchdown, right?
You want to give me a team total of Alabama plus 3.5 or for 3.5 against Notre Dame?
No.
Because they're going to score way more than that on the Irish.
Okay.
Way more than that on the Irish.
Irish got a better defense than Oklahoma? No?
I don't know about that. That's a debate. It's a huge debate. Actually, I'd say no. Oklahoma's defense is better than Notre Dame's. Okay. Notre Dame's offense is better than Oklahoma's. Their quarterback is better. Their running attack is better. So I can't. This is going to be fun. I mean, this is why
Anderson said it could be Penn State versus Alabama when a new bracket comes out. Oh dear Lord, that would be amazing. That would be awesome.
That's horrible for Penn State.
That's fantastic.
Horrible for you.
Come on up north, baby.
That is a
they won't even cut the grass.
That is
They'll
such a
go home for finals and let the grass grow. The field will be terrible.
You guys do not want to see Alabama.
Let's go, baby.
Penn State does not want to see Alabama. You want Arizona State. You want exactly where you are. You 100%. You want them. You want Arizona State. You do not want Alabama to come to your place. Oh boy. So that would be Penn State getting the 6th seed. So the 5th seed, the 5 seed goes to whom then? Who you put in that bracket? Who you putting at the 5 seed?
The loser of the SEC championship game.
I just
Texas, right? If it's Texas, they'll put them as the 5.
Fine.
I think if it's Georgia,
fine.
they can't.
They can't.
They
Georgia
can't
cannot
give
be a
Georgia
cannot
with
be a
3
5
losses,
seed.
the 5 seed ahead of everybody else with 1 or 2.
Yeah, that would be disgusting. You cannot put Georgia as the 5 seed. That's
and then
malpractice.
So some people would put Notre Dame there as the 5.
That's fair. Okay, I can listen to that.
Right.
Irish is the 5 seed. I'm okay with that. In that scenario, if Texas wins the SEC, that Notre Dame's the 5. Yeah, I'm good with that. So them as the 5, as the non-conference, and they'll bitch and moan and say we should be higher. Then you go, well, then get into a conference and you can be higher.
Right.
Boise being a 4 seed's outrageous. It's just absolutely outrageous. Like getting a bye, it's the single most insulting thing this committee could do is to give Boise State a bye.
Yeah.
It's a joke.
I think one thing we can't agree on is that Tennessee's in, right?
I wanted Vandy to win that game so badly. I wanted Vandy to shock the world and keep them out too. I wanted them out. So yeah, I think they're in, unfortunately. I wouldn't put them in because I think Ole Miss on a neutral, I like Ole Miss more than Tennessee, but Tennessee's running attack is just really hard. When they get a win, when they get a lead, they grind and they run the ball and their running game is so damn good. It's tough. I don't know. People were saying this actually, people have argued that that's not the case. So if UNLV wins on Friday, and just to put up it's 4. Okay. If UNLV wins on Friday and they win the Mountain West Conference Championship, there's no automatic bid. Okay. So it's 1-1 Boise and UNLV. I've seen where the committee just says, forget it. We're going to put in Tulane or the winner of Army Tulane. And that team goes in versus UNLV Boise State. Because they have a hard time with the 2-loss UNLV team putting them in.
Wow.
Because they lost at home. Both their losses are at home.
Tulane just got smoked by Memphis.
Yep. I've seen the argument saying, hey, just take them both out because they're 1-1 against each other. And Boise's got 2 losses. UNLV's got 2 losses, but you have a conference champion in UNLV and not a conference champion in Boise. So you can't put Boise in over UNLV, even though their 2 losses are more impressive because they lost at Oregon and then they lost on a neutral versus UNLV lost at home to Syracuse and home to Boise. So that's the problem. Yeah, see, it could be, but it could be Army, Tyler. If Army wins, Army could get in. So it's tough. I mean, this is UNLV winning is not automatic that they get into the playoff. They may keep them both out if Friday night goes for the Rebels.
My gosh.
Which sucks. But I can't really say that UNLV deserves to be in, to be quite honest. I think it would be fun. It would be an amazing story for Barry Odom. I don't want him to go and leave because if he makes the playoffs, every school is going to be circling, not like they aren't already. But you have an amazing story in Barry Odom taking UNLV to losing his starting quarterback after the 3rd game of the year, having a 6th-year backup, and he takes them to the damn playoffs.
Right.
Yeah. But I think you're right, Stevie. They're going to get a 4 seed. They shouldn't. But it's ridiculous to give them a bye. It's ridiculous to give Boise State a bye.
Oh, man, it's a lot. I don't know. I just know that I had so much fun Saturday watching all the stuff and seeing all this stuff, and we'll debate it, and we'll talk about games and lines and all that other crap.
We have to look at these lines. You got to look at the games. It's Monday. We'll break it all down, but you got to look at them because it is interesting. Arizona State laying 2.5 to Iowa State in the Big 12 title game is really interesting. This team is
How the hell did Iowa State get here? What a roundabout way to get here.
Thanks to BYU beating Houston.
Holy crap.
Got them in. Yep. It got them in. And Cyclone fans feel like that they're living. I mean, they've been so lucky, like so lucky. Missed field goals by Utah at the end. Crazy ending against Kansas State to get in. Like the stars have aligned perfectly for Matt Campbell here to get this team potentially to a bid to make the playoff. Arizona State is the little engine that could. This team is so far ahead of schedule. This team has no business being in the Big 12 title game, but here they are, favored by 2.5 over Iowa State.
I don't even know. I was watching the BYU game Saturday night, and I was like, they can win and not get in. They're actually controlling someone else's destiny. It's just so weird. Felt awkward watching it. They're going to have a tough time because are they good defensively at all? Like, I mean, the thing they don't do is stop the run, and they're going to get run on, and Arizona State runs the ball great.
Scottaboo's a beast. He's a beast.
Thank you, Andrew Husted.
He's a beast.
Yeah.
And he just is the hardest guy to tackle in college football. Like, he's just incredible. Iowa State's in big trouble.
Arizona State is like the Indiana of the Big 12, right? They were picked at the bottom.
Yeah.
By almost everybody.
Everyone's a transfer. I mean,
it's incredible.
They're under NCAA penalties right now still. They're under Herm Edwards sanctions. This team's not even at full. Seems not even at full strength. This team's got scholarship reductions.
And then did you see that? The Juice just put it in there. The coach gave his $200K bonus to the staff.
Well, he has a $500,000 bonus now, and he has said he's going to divvy it up amongst his whole staff. The stadium staff got the $200,000, but now his staff's getting the extra money he's getting as well. If they win this game, he makes, I think, another $300,000. If he wins this game, he's just like Daddy Warbucks right now. He's just giving money out like crazy. Yes, ASU did hold open tryouts for kickers. Yes, because they couldn't find a kicker. They held open tryouts for kickers. If it comes down to a kick, that's not good for ASU.
Right.
You don't want that. But this is a little engine that could. If you want to pull for somebody, you want to pull for a crazy story, Arizona State. Head coach tailgated. He married a dance team member. This dude is a Sun Devil through and through.
Yep.
There's no bigger Sun Devil than this dude who coaches this team. You want to talk about a fun story? Arizona State's a fun story to watch. Favored against Iowa State. Texas is now 2.5-point favorite on Georgia. How high is this thing going to go? This is high. And Kirby Smart is a dog? Really?
3 will be the top.
Woo, baby.
Yeah, 3 will be the top if it goes there.
You get 3 on Georgia. Folks going to need Texas?
No.
Sharp money on Texas?
Yeah, they laid anything under 2, they laid.
Right.
So I think you'll see first book to jump to 3 will get an automatic bet at +3. So I think books are perfectly content with needing Georgia. I think it'll be fine.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, this is the way that Saturday breaks out. The only thing that ticks me off is that there's 2 games at 5 o'clock our time, 8 o'clock Eastern.
Penn State,
like they
Oregon.
could have spaced it out a little bit better.
Mm-hmm. But you want that window.
I mean, I want to watch some of Clemson LSU, but I am 100% going to be watching Penn State Oregon if I'm not there.
Yeah, obviously.
At least for a while. Like, hopefully, it won't be a blowout.
I mean, it's wild. You get Kirby as a dog. You get Dabo as a dog. Like,
right.
These are unique spots for these coaches to be in. You don't normally see them as catching points in big games.
I don't know what to make of this game.
I have no idea.
This is the hardest game to me.
I like SMU, but I have no idea. I'm not going to bet it.
Right. This is the hardest game. Give the boys and girls another poll to vote on right here. Monday, this game, Clemson +2.5, SMU -2.5. What is your first thought process? Vote, whatever. What did we end up with as far as the poll?
60% no.
60% want to get rid of
the playoffs, the conference championship game.
Right. Yeah.
60-40 split.
Without watching too many of SMU's games, I think we'll be surprisingly even on this.
Okay.
I think this will be one of those ones that you'll get good two-way.
We crossed 3 already with Oregon, Penn State. We're going higher? 4.5, 5.5?
No.
3.5's the top?
Yeah, this is a bounce to 4 to go get another bet, but they're fine. And I think I was doing it on Saturday on the Twitter. putting it out there. What do you guys make the line? And I said 1 to 3, 3.5, or 4 or more with Oregon. And then I just, for all the people that are delusional that think Penn State should be picking or even a small favorite 1 point against Oregon, you're out of your mind. There's no chance that any book on planet Earth would have Penn State favored over Oregon in this spot. But the reaction to that was, why is it not higher? It should be Oregon -6. Pump the brakes.
Whoa.
Pump the brakes.
7, JR.
See what I'm saying? Johnny Parlay, hat tip to you, sir. Penn
7.
State win. Like you said, Pittsburgh Steelers beat the Bengals. By the way, yes, we're having a Pennsylvania run right now is woo!
7.
7. Johnny, I'll take 7 with you.
Right.
I'll meet you this week. We'll have lunch. I'll take 7 with you. Although we'll probably be able to take 7 in the first quarter. If Oregon scores first, the in-game will be 8.5. So, I don't know.
Wow.
I think. Listen, was Oregon's schedule impressive?
Beat Ohio State.
And who else? Look at their schedule.
Beat Ohio State. It's better than what Indiana did.
Okay, so look at Oregon's schedule again. Look at their Big Ten schedule. Look at their out-of-conference schedule.
Well, out of conference schedule is not
They
really.
beat Boise. It counts as a ranked team.
It shouldn't, but does.
Okay.
Counts as a top 15 win.
Right, which is
But,
comical.
But they beat the number
Okay.
2 team in the country in Ohio State.
And it's in what, the third week of the season? That's good.
4th.
Okay. But who else did they beat? Look at their schedule.
I am looking at it. I mean, in terms of what I'm
Who else?
impressed with,
Run it down.
it's more of a indictment of your conference. You don't want to do this. This hurts you. This hurts Penn State.
Who did they beat? Who
They
did Oregon
they
beat?
beat the team you lost to, which means their schedule is better than yours.
Run the schedule. Run the schedule. Go ahead. You have it in front of you?
Yeah. So they beat Idaho,
Oh, Idaho as a football team. Good.
Yep.
Okay, go ahead.
Boise State when they were 11th ranked Boise State,
Go ahead.
Oregon State on the road,
Oregon State.
UCLA on the
horrific
road,
team. Okay. UCLA really bottom feeder. Go
Michigan
ahead.
State,
Michigan State. Terrible.
Ohio
Go ahead.
State,
Uh-huh.
Purdue,
Uh-huh.
the Illinois team you like so much, 38-9,
Uh-huh.
Michigan
On the road.
on the road,
Okay.
Maryland.
Michigan, who just beat Ohio State, right? Go ahead.
Right. So they beat them both.
Maryland. Wait. Penn State just beat them 44-7. Okay,
Yeah,
who else?
39-18, so the same blowout. And then they beat Wisconsin on the road. And they beat Washington 49-21.
Okay.
I mean, their road wins aren't bad. Winning at Wisconsin's not easy to do. They won at
Penn State
Michigan,
did
not
that.
easy to do.
Penn
Those are
State
two-
did that too.
Sure. But you guys lost to the team they beat.
All right.
I mean, yes, schedule strength is not good for either one. It's just not a good argument for Dave to argue Penn
Okay.
State versus Oregon's schedule strength. They
Well, no,
both
I'm
stink.
just saying for the head-to-head. Like people
both
that want to
stink.
make Oregon a 7-point favorite, I don't know where you come with that number. You can't be 7-point favorite. They can't be.
Right. No, I agree with that. Michigan
That's
is
all.
not good. You're right, JR. Michigan is not good. I'll give it to you. Michigan's not a good football team. I would. They have no quarterback. They have no offense. They've got nothing. But rivalries and Ryan Day can't do it. Yep. And exactly, you're right. Until Franklin proves it, -3.5 all day. Yes. I mean, you have to. You have no choice. Like until James and to
God forbid they win on Saturday, boys.
to put actual
Woo,
actual money down. I mean, James Franklin has not. He is the number 1 complete and total show artist of college football. He can't win big games, and so now he has a chance to do it. He has a chance to beat a team in a Big Ten title game and win a championship and shut everybody up. He wins that game. He quiets down everybody. 100%. The world will be on Oregon for right purposes. I mean, as we know, James Franklin's a favorite between 6 and 24 points is an absolute cash cow. Everywhere else, you bet against him. Everybody else, you bet against him. Which do you want more, Big Ten title or national championship?
It's not even a debate.
What is it?
National title. You nuts? I hope if they means
Okay.
they lose by 30 on
So
Saturday
lose.
and
Okay.
win
Okay. So you
the
want I would say
national
lose.
title.
You want to lose. You have a better shot of winning the national championship, in my opinion, by losing the Big Ten title game. You're going to get a better path.
Having a bye is always good.
It is, but having a home game is huge.
Well,
Getting that momentum.
Play that round.
Getting that, I think we could see big upsets in the quarterfinals from teams that played at home and played a game versus the team that sits and waits, because it's weeks. It's 4 weeks between playing. It's a long time. You play on New Year's Eve. You play New Year's. So you play the 21st and 22nd. You play at home. Okay, you play at home,
and then you go to some
neutral site. Yeah. You've already played a game. You felt the pressure.
Routine is messed up. Yeah.
Our routine's messed up. Now you're going from 0. Okay. So if I'm a Penn State fan, I think you want to lose Oregon and then go play at home, get the win at home, and then play the quarterfinal team. And it's probably going to be, by that bracket we put up, it's Boise. You're going to boat race Boise. Like, you're going to kill them. And now you're in the semifinal. Now you're 2 wins away from a national championship.
Yeah.
And who knows how that breaks out. Because that's a break. You get a 2-week break before you play again.
Yeah. I don't know. That, like, think about Washington beating Texas last year. They were 8.5-point dogs. It can happen. Those games are going to be very, very, very
I wish you guys had a better quarterback.
I think odds maker wise, like, you have to take that into effect. I don't think you'll see more than touchdown favorites, despite the fact that there'll be perception that there should be. So, that it's going to be fun.
It was a 4-week break, but it wasn't do or die. It wasn't a tournament setting. It was a bowl game. It was one game. You knew you played a bowl game, your year was over.
Well, that's the other thing that spins out of all of this conversation is, what is the bowl game's going to be?
Nothing. No one will pay attention to any of it. Everybody who's any good will opt out of it.
It's a shame. Like, teams were happy about being bowl eligible on Saturday.
Yeah, teams like Nebraska, teams that are not used to going to bowl games, teams that haven't gone for a long time. It's a nice accomplishment. You get the extra practices. It's not about this year. The bowl games, realistically, if you ever knew anything, the bowl game was never about the bowl game. The bowl game was about practice. The 21 practices you got for next year. Yeah, that's what it was. Now, the portal has completely screwed that up. So those practices don't even matter all that much anymore because the kids are all going to be gone. Yeah. The roster, that was always the developmental from freshman to sophomore to junior. That step you would take would help you the next year.
Right.
Well, now the kid's saying, pay me or I'm out. Going somewhere else.
It's got to be a terrible spot to be the coach. Like, it was such a rewarding trip for everybody, a team bonding trip.
Yep.
You get to do all this stuff. I mean, I went to these bowl games in the past. I went to the Holiday Bowl. I went to the Rose Bowl when Penn State played Oregon. That memory came up in my feed somehow, because Penn State's playing Oregon this time. Right. When's the last time they played? That Rose Bowl. Kajana first play. Keith Jackson was doing the game. He said, Kajana Carter, gone. And he went 80 yards. Oh, it was amazing. My brother and I ran in the stands with him. We jumped up. As soon as he broke through the line, we could see it. He's gone. And we watched the replay. But those bowl games were fun for the fans. They were fun for the team. It was just one of those things. And I don't know. I mean, yeah, BC, Ross Randall, BC will be playing somebody at Fenway. Okay.
It's next year. That's not this year. It's the Car Care Bowl. It's true.
Heineke Car Care Bowl.
There's a bowl game at Fenway. There's a New York, the Yankee Stadium, now Fenway Park. It's just so stupid. I said before, bowl games should never be played north of the Mason-Dixon line. Should be banned. Seriously, should be banned. No one should ever be allowed.
Unless you're in a dome. The Potato Bowl.
Yeah, unless you're in a dome.
Boise.
If you're in a dome, then you're allowed to do it. If you're in a bowl, if you have a dome, you can have a. If you're north of the Mason-Dixon line, have a dome, you can play. Otherwise, no way. Bowl games are supposed to be warm and fun and rewards.
Yeah, playing at Fenway Park. What about when you go to Birmingham though, and it's cold and windy and rainy?
It's warmer than it is going to be at Fenway Park in December. Congratulations, you play at Fenway Park on the banks of the Atlantic Ocean. Enjoy it. Have fun with that. That sucks. That's a punishment. That's not a reward. Who wants to go play that crap? No.
Right.
To the NFL. For those of you guys who had the Bucks in Survivor, just go get a lucky, go get whatever you can do. Go knock on wood. Go find a 4-leaf clover. Go hug somebody, because that was pure luck. There is no other way to describing the Bucks win yesterday than pure luck, with a fumble in field goal range for the Panthers to win that game. The Raiders, I don't. One of our guys has he has to have like a defibrillator on standby because the Chiefs should have lost.
Dear
he had the Chiefs.
Lord.
He had the Chiefs.
The Chiefs.
The Bucks should have lost. And the Bucks won. Two of the most improbable wins, and he had them both in Circuit Survivor.
It's incredible. And again, thank you to the guys. We had a lot of people use the Thanksgiving Day games in the millions.
Yep.
So we got a lot of stuff done before Thanksgiving. It was good. But yeah, he had Kansas City. And it's different now watching those games with somebody still alive in this.
Of course.
I can tell you that. I mean, it feels like it's, we're rooting for him. And Kansas City's supposed to lose that game. I don't know what that was at the end of the game for the Raiders. Like, what? And they find a way to win. So we roll it to road favorite against the Panthers.
Another divisional game. He picked two divisional games.
And I mean, that was some major stones. I mean, big ones. And you're like, what is happening right now? Thielen catches that ball, and I turned to Jess and said, "Oh,
that's it.
I this is bad. I think it's over. I think it's done." And somehow it wasn't, and then they win the game. I was exhausted after.
Absolutely crazy. Thanksgiving, the Cowboys and the Giants was the most watched game of the year. 41.3 million peak. That's 12% of America.
Yeah.
We're watching that crap. Cooper Rush. I mean, are you serious? That's who we were spending time watching.
It's a time thing. It's literally a time thing. It's the middle of the day. It's the biggest handle game. Has been for years. Doesn't matter who's playing in it. It's the perfect window in the middle of the East Coast, right early afternoon in the West Coast, perfect in Central Time Zone. It's the Dallas most watched game all the time, most bet game, crap game. The story at Thanksgiving was the Bears.
Poor Matt Eberflus. Detroit wins the game 23-20. Took that timeout with him to the unemployment line.
Did he know we could have called timeout?
I don't know. You have a timeout. I mean, they don't carry over. Like you get like keep it and like I'm taking it home with me. Like got to use that timeout.
I mean, did you not know? I don't know.
His record was 14-32 overall, but get this, he was 5-17 in games decided by 7 points or less. 5-17. The whole Matt Eberflus era might have gone much differently if he could have just won close games.
I have no explanation for what happened. I'm watching it live going, what are you doing? Somebody call timeout. What are you doing? And then Caleb's audibling.
Yeah. Tick, 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 tick. Like, hey, dude, you got third down with 32 seconds left. Tick, 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 tick. What are we doing?
I just couldn't believe it. And then the immediate thing afterward was, well, he's got to be fired. He's got to be fired. He's got to be fired. And then he has the press conference in the morning and says, well, we handled it okay.
I wouldn't have changed anything.
What?
I was confident. I liked the way we did things. Yeah, I liked it. An hour and a half later. Hey, Matt, bring your laptop, please. Come on.
Yeah.
I need to have a conversation with you upstairs.
At some point, yeah, like you I mean, I don't know. Maybe he would have been able to coach out the rest of the year had he said afterward.
Right.
I messed up.
Right. Took it. Yeah.
Took it for everybody. Which, I mean, somebody on the microphone in his ear, says, hey, call timeout. Call timeout. Or, somebody buzzes Caleb and says, Caleb, call timeout. Just call timeout. Yep. We'll relax. We'll figure it out. Hold on. I don't know. The whole thing was mind-boggling. The fact that they came back was so impressive that it was all lost. Like it's another game they covered.
Right.
And had a chance to win.
Yeah.
Like you felt like it was going this way the last couple of weeks. And then boom, blow it up. That's it.
So bad. We mentioned the Raiders finding new ways to lose the game. I mean, they had it against the Chiefs. The way that got called, I am still Mikey Awesome. Thank you. He went and pulled all this great stuff on Twitter and showed me different things. Still don't understand why that was not a false start. I don't understand why that was enabled to be converted into an illegal shift, and thus they could decline it versus a false start, which cannot be declined. Like, I still, like, the stars aligning for the Chiefs to win that game was unbelievable to me.
When I watched the replay, that guy runs in from the sideline, waving his arms like this, like the play was dead.
Uh-huh.
And
He did.
then they looked. I mean, I thought, all right, well, they're just going to pick it up, move them back 5 yards, and it's done. And then they're like, well, no, wait, hold on. It's a fumble. It's a change of possession.
Why? How? They stopped. They blew it dead. All the guys stopped. All the Raiders stopped. That's why the Raiders center went crazy. He was like, at what point is this not a false start? So I know, Mikey, Austin, it's because they spiked the ball the previous play. So
Right.
the clock was stopped. Fine.
Right.
But I can't still figure that out because I'm going back into my brain going, okay, so a false start on a dead ball is supposed to bring a 10-second runoff, which is what should have happened. I can't figure out how you convert a false start, which we've seen for years. False start, you spike the ball, it's a false start. He called it an illegal forward pass. He called it, or he said it was an illegal shift by the ball being passed backwards. And I can't, like, the whole thing was completely like, what? Didn't make any sense to me. Regardless, the Chiefs won. It didn't matter for the season. It doesn't really matter, except for maybe the 1 seed with the Bills. More of that in a second. But since 2000, 23 teams had 11 wins in the first 13 weeks of the season. KC's plus 54 point differential is by far the worst.
Yep.
Are they the worst 11-1 football team ever?
I mean, that's the word on the street. That's what everybody keeps saying.
I
don't know. I mean, how many 11-1 teams? You just said there's 23 since 2000. So it's happened once a year since 2000.
Yep.
And they're only 54 points better than worse, which how the hell do you have 11 wins? Like
in this way,
it's
keep
right,
finding
it's just,
new ways to win. Like, it's amazing how, like, this, I will firmly believe this. Like, the Chiefs are not a top 3 team in the NFL. They might be top 5, but they're not top 3.
I don't know if they're top 3 in the AFC.
Fair.
I think I got them 4. Buffalo.
In the AFC, you have them 4?
Yeah, Buffalo, Pittsburgh / Baltimore.
I have them way higher than you. Wow, really?
Yeah.
How about that?
Yeah.
You have the Steelers over the Chiefs.
Right now, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Even I don't have that.
Yeah.
I'm the resident Chief hater of the show, and I don't have that.
I've been telling my wife that Christmas is going to be a problem in this house. If she's going to root for the Chiefs, it's going to be a problem. It's going to be a problem because she's going to lose. She's going to be upset. I don't want her to be upset. Trying to prepare her for the fact that Kansas City's going to Pittsburgh, going to lose on Christmas.
Wow, they're going to lose on Christmas.
Kansas City may lose this week against the Chargers.
Yes, that's what I think happens. I agree. That I agree with.
So,
yeah, I have Eagles, Lions, Bills, then the Chiefs. And then the Vikings.
The Eagles and the Lions 100% are better.
Yeah, I have those 3. Then I have the Chiefs, then the Vikings, then you guys.
You have the Vikings as the 4th best team in football?
5th best team in football. Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, I like their defense a lot. And I think after that little midseason swoon they went through, yesterday was impressive. Being down the way they were down, to rally like that at home, to play the way they played. See, you can't put the Ravens above the Steelers, Goroff. You can't do that. Can't do that. I have the Ravens and Packers right below because the Steelers beat the Ravens. So I don't think that I can't put the Ravens above the Steelers. That's not fair. So I can't do that. So to me, I have Eagles, Lions, Bills, Chiefs, Vikings, Steelers, Packers, or Ravens. Take your pick as to which one behind them on that. But that Chiefs position is pretty fleeting. Like, it's I'm not going to stand on a table and tell you that you're wrong about
Right.
them being the third or the fourth best team, just given the way they have performed. It's not been.
I mean,
not
a couple things that could be exposed were exposed this weekend for a couple of these teams in the NFL. Like Baltimore's got a kicking problem.
Correct.
Believe it or not.
Yep. I would cut Tucker today.
Cut him?
I'd cut him. Yeah. I would go, and kickers can be found all over the place. Justin Tucker is a Hall of Fame kicker, but he has cost them 3 football games. They're 8-5 because of their kicker. Wow. So, I mean, you can't have your kicker leaving that many points on the field. Like it can't happen. Like they should be 11-2, not 8-5.
What is your graphic with this?
For Tucker?
For Tucker? Ravens need a new kicker.
Yes. Where'd I put that on that? Oh, yeah.
Oh. Excuse me.
We'll pause that. Hold on. If you guys are with us live, stick around. We got more to come here in bonus time. You guys are watching on the replay. Thank you for being here. We're back tomorrow on a Tuesday. For the rest of you guys are sticking around because we're giving you bonus time. Look,
we are an hour 40 in. That flew by.
Mm-hmm. Eagles, very impressive, but the Ravens, just like the game against you guys, if the kicker does what the kicker's supposed to do, they win the game. Like Ravens win against Steelers, Ravens win against the Eagles. Like I know Tucker is a Hall of Famer. I know he's been incredible, but he can't kick extra points. He left 7 points on the field yesterday by himself.
Right.
You want to try to win a Super Bowl? You can't do that. Not with that defense. You can have maybe a bad kicker, great offense, great defense, and you can survive. You can't have a bad defense and a bad kicker. Nope. Can't do it. You're dead.
Their path gets a lot different if they don't win a division. You know, the Ravens' path. That's where that exposed it to me. I was like, all right, we'll see now. Because that last game, Pittsburgh at Baltimore, I'd love for that game to mean nothing.
Right. It means
that would be amazing. You know, Baltimore's in, but they have to be a wild card. They needed that win yesterday just to keep up with the Joneses and the wins.
Right.
Philly got the best, I think, right now. Take the show on the road type game.
Yeah. They can play anywhere. With that running attack, they can play anywhere. Yeah.
They just went to L.A. on a Sunday night.
Yep.
And then they flew back and went down to Baltimore and won on a Sunday night, or Sunday afternoon, whatever. That's impressive as hell to me.
Yeah, I think you got to be looking at the Eagles and going, hey, defensively, they have some questions, but overall their pass rush is going to keep them in football games and they can stop the run. I mean, look, Cooper DeJean, everybody who is from an Iowa background, you guys were standing up and screaming because while everybody is stunned by the textbook tackle that he did on Derrick Henry, Iowa fans have known this forever. Like,
right.
And you guys got to stop this bullshit, Casey. Stop this Travis Kelce broke Justin Tucker bullshit. It's such a ridiculous line. I've seen that way too often. Remember when he took his helmet, he threw his helmet in the playoffs, he moved it saying that Travis Kelce broke Justin Tucker. Like, just stop. It's a dumb line. It's not even seen it all over the place.
The reports are that, Tucker bulked up.
Yes. That he put on 20 pounds
or something. And it's just,
but he was bad last year too, though. It was before this.
Well, no, this is different. But
he was on the slide. Like he was on the downward split. I mean, there's been people who have said, in the Maryland era that like he's a celebrity in the Maryland area. So like maybe he, as a kicker, like he hasn't focused as much. And it's just kickers don't hang around for as long as he has in the NFL with one team. So maybe it is time to go and shop and find somebody else. I would go and I would find a kicker right now. There's plenty of them to come in. That I know it's a hard transition. Mid-season's difficult, but like fake an injury or something. Say he's got a groin pull or something, and like Father Time is undefeated.
Bye week comes at a perfect time for Baltimore.
It does.
They're on a bye this week. The Steelers went
wounds.
to the Cincy and did what they were expected to do, although odds makers, people, bad guys, bet the Bengals.
Me?
I don't know. The Steelers at some point are going to get credit from somebody at somewhere. The Bengals on defense is not. I mean, they don't stop anybody.
Zach Taylor's so bad.
They don't stop anybody, and
so bad.
Like Joe Burrow's tremendous. Yeah. He's being hung out to dry on a weekly basis. He's having to throw the ball 50 times. They have no running game at all.
No, none. I mean, look, you have a pick. You have a pick six in the first quarter of a game in a divisional game like that, and you take a Wilson pass to the house. I mean, that should have jump started everything for the Bengals. They gave up a touchdown like right away, like answer, bang. That lead was like for 2 seconds. Zach Taylor's horrible.
I said that the prop should have paid Wilson on touchdown passes thrown in the first quarter because he threw one to Cincy and one to Pickens.
Yeah.
It should have paid over.
Yeah. It's been bad. I mean, Zach Taylor just
Chase Brown is pretty good.
He is.
Jimmy football as a running back. But
as a catcher, he's a better guy out of the backfield, not running the football.
They move the ball up and down the field offensively. They don't stop anybody.
Yeah, it's bad. It's really, really bad. Drake May looked tremendous for the Patriots, but the Colts, I'll give Steichen credit. He did what the Georgia Tech coach couldn't do. Went down the field, 19 play, 80-yard drive, scored the touchdown, said, we're winning it right now.
Was that really 19 plays?
Yes.
It took forever.
8 minutes. Took 8 minutes off the clock.
I kept that game on the one square, and I'm like, are they down there yet? Or is that done yet? Or like, it took forever.
They dink and they dunked and they dink and they dunk and they slowly moved the ball down the field. And then the Patriot defense was gassed, just like Georgia's defense was gassed. Don't let him recover. Go punch it in right then and there. They could. I mean, I was like, that's exactly what I would have done. Shane Steichen, good call. Great for the Patriots. Drake May had a 41-yard run in that game. Second fastest top speed quarterback of in this season. Perfect. Look good, play hard, lose on the last second, get the top pick or get the second pick, whatever it's going to be. Perfect outcome for the Patriots yesterday. Absolutely perfect. The Bills smacked the 49ers. They lost Christian McCaffrey to a knee injury. Why was he playing in that game? Like a part of me was like, this was predictable, was it not? Like he almost had to retire because it was, and I know it's a PCL injury. I know it's not the Achilles, but I just was like, damn. I wouldn't have played McCaffrey.
They're playing to win the games.
I know.
And you got to tell the guy who's your most impactful player that you can't play because it's snowing. Well, yeah, but I'm good. Are you?
It's a 6-week injury. A PCL injury? It's got to be just a strain. It can't be a ruptured PCL for 6 weeks.
I don't know.
I think it's a lie. I think he's done for the year. I think that's a PR move by the team. I don't know.
I liked Buffalo to begin, and then I saw the people betting the Niners during the week, and I'm like,
why?
Good luck. And then you see the weather, and people shoveling and getting $20 an hour to go shovel in a meal, which is whatever. Look, if you want to do it, like people are besmirching people for doing it or making fun of them for doing it.
Why?
I don't know. I used to shovel driveways for the neighbors for like $5.
Why would you make fun of somebody for making money? That's stupid.
Who cares?
You're making money. Yeah. It's cool. It's a stadium. You're helping out. That's done.
That was a run out. Again, so we're looking at
but that's not fair. Yeah. He says Buffalo weather forecasters suck. You can't do that. You can't blame them. Look, I haven't lived in Buffalo, but they can't predict lake effect snow. It comes out of nowhere, like literally out of nowhere. They had thought that it was going to all stay to the south during the game, that there was no worries. A lot of people bet that off of that. Okay. They came in, game went over 44.5. It went over, landed 45, but people were mad because they bet it late. It had bet up to 45 and 45.5 until they lost. But like people were watching that going, snowbirds are a thing. Okay. If it snows, bet over. Wind, guys. Remember, we don't bet wet. Bet wind. Right. Don't bet wet.
Yeah. Well, do you like watching the snow games?
They're so fun.
Yeah.
I think they're great. Patriots scored 77 points on the Titans one day on a dome in a snow game.
All right.
It's awesome. So that's what happens. And people are like, "Oh, the weather forecasters were so wrong." They can't predict that. Nobody can predict when that shit happens. Just it fucks up everything. Can't do any of it.
I don't know. It's just like doing picks, like with the weather. You can have all these graphs and stats and this and that, and then something changes and the wind blows and the snow comes, and you hopefully have Josh Allen to receive, rush, and throw a pass touchdown. I mean, it's ridiculous how that could happen.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's over. Okay, it's 2 running backs for the Niners, both on the IR. Whoa, they put the other guy on the IR too this morning. In San Fran.
Who wins the NFC West?
I think the Rams do.
I think Seattle.
Oh boy, what a collapse by the Jets. It was
so much fun.
What a pathetic performance by the
so
Jets.
much fun.
But the Jets are 3-10, so are the Patriots. Just FYI. that would be, if I was running a book, that would be a fun number to put up. Who wins more games? Who wins more games rest of the way?
Oh, so much fun.
It's probably the Jets because the Patriots' schedule is brutal. They're going to be dogs in every game. But that was a game yesterday. They could have won that game, and I'm glad they did not. I was like, go for two. And they did it. I was like, great, this is perfect. And then they ended up losing the game, which is good.
You got 5 games left to win 2, right? You got to get 5.
Not happening. Can't see it. I'd be ecstatic. They needed that. I thought they'd win that one and have 4. They win 1 more. They get over. I can't. It would be if they beat the Cardinals, they could beat the Cardinals. But outside of that, maybe in week 18, because it won't matter.
Right.
Like maybe they could win game 5 in week 18. And then if you bet the under, you can bet against it. You can.
Guys are still here. Type who you think is going to win the NFC West in the chat. It's because it's either Seattle, the Rams, or Arizona.
I don't think it's Arizona. I like the Rams. I was on the Rams yesterday against the Saints. That team can win a playoff game if you let them hang around.
Yeah.
I mean, they got weapons. Their defense was good yesterday. Scored 21 points. First time that they'd ever been shut out in the McVay era in the first half. Scored 21 points in the second half and won the game 21-14. Ooh, Seattle, Arizona, Cardinals, Seattle, Rams.
Yeah.
Got that ticket. There you go.
There you
Rams, Arizona, Seattle. Yeah, Seattle's got the pedigree to do it. That's for sure.
Right.
God, the Jets suck. They're so bad. Where's that? Oh, better to book a time. I hated the card tonight. So here are just 2 quick ones. Browns plus 12 over 36. Monday Night Football has been an over machine.
Yeah.
11-4 to the over.
I would think this goes over. There's
Much
no
like
weather.
It could be like.
I mean,
night.
I'd rather you do the Browns and under.
Well, I did it yesterday.
Up.
Okay, so I teased it yesterday. I took the Bills down to a pick and I put it up to 50.5 and went under.
Right.
The game fell 45. I think it'd be very similar. This game could fall 40, 41. Could fall right by that number of 42 where it is. Is it a plus money bet right now? Oh, okay. Not for me. It wasn't for me last night, but
yeah,
it's minus 120.
So I mean, you get this Cleveland and under, and you get under 47.5. Because it's 41.5, half the places right now.
Okay.
So 6-point teaser. If you do a 7-point teaser, you get under 48.5. That's
good number.
Good
Number.
Yeah. So you get under the 45 and the 47, and yeah. So that's the way I'd rather it. But
you can almost do them both. I think the game's going to fall between 36 and 48. You can almost do them both.
Yeah, that might be an in-game play.
Yeah, you could do them both. That's where it falls. I think it falls somewhere in upper 30s, lower 40s.
So and again, if you do this, you could go Browns and under to start, and then when it starts slow, ideally you go over 32 or over 34,
right,
and work a huge middle. Something like that, because I think you're right. I think it falls right in there.
And then I'm doing my first NBA teaser because I don't know what else to play.
NBA teaser?
NBA teaser.
All right.
Celtics
We're
minus.
not advocating this from anyone. Don't ever tease an NBA game. If you do, don't tell me.
It was
Don't
boring.
ever tell me that you're teasing
Austin,
an NBA
Austin
game.
lost to the Cavs last night. They're on a back-to-back.
They did. How about
They're at
that?
home. Okay.
How about that?
You gave up 47 points in the fourth quarter. No bueno. So they're not back at home, but they're laying 10.5 against the Miami Heat, or were last night, laying 10.5 against the Miami Heat. It's too many points, but they're going to win the game. So 5-point teaser
right now.
Oh God, you can pull it down even further. Okay. So 5.5. I get a 5-point teaser, pulled it down to 5.5. The Nets are 9-2-1 this year on the road. ATS. They were +6 last night. Put them up to +12. Nets +12. Celtics -5.5. It was -110.
God,
-110.
this is ugly. I'm booking this. I don't even want to pay attention. You just did an NBA teaser for the first time on show number 700.
Yes.
The first time in the history of the show
Yes.
that you have done an NBA teaser.
It was either
I'm
that or
100%
bet
booking.
Drexel against Bryant. It was either
Just
that. It was,
bet the T-Wolves tonight.
no.
Lay to
No.
7.
No. And that's your number. You don't lay 7. You don't lay 7.
No, last night it was 5 or 5.5. I couldn't believe it. The T-Wolves were short against the Lakers. The Lakers are on a back-to-back. That's the play of the day there
Oh,
in the NBA if you got to play it. It's an ugly card.
awful card. It's an awful day because everything was Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So today on a Monday, bless you. Today on a Monday following, there's nothing to bet, and I don't want to bet player props, and I was just like, I don't know what to do.
Right.
So that's how I came up with that day. Favorite thing about today is what?
One, it's show number 700. That's just awesome. That we made it this far, despite all things working against us, and basically being told by people, you guys, this is it's a fun little thing you got going, but never gonna make it. And it's just keep telling your people that show up that they're having fun and blah 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 blah. So for everyone that's made it this far with us, we appreciate the hell out of you. That's one of my favorite things about today. Number 2 is I wanted to ask you this: the Mario Lemieux fantasy camp. Brother Doug has been putting his name on the list to get an opportunity to go.
Okay.
You get to go to Pittsburgh. You stay at the hotel next to the PPG Arena where the Penguins play. They put you in a suite for one of the games. You get to practice all week and play a game play 5 games, I believe, at PPG Arena, like on the ice and all this other stuff. How much would you pay to go and do that? Like, how much do you think that costs? You get it's like a 4-day.
How much do I think it costs, or how much
do
should
you
I
think
pay?
it costs?
$2,500.
Okay. Guys in the chat, put how much you think it costs to go to the Mario Lemieux fantasy camp for 4 days and go lace them up. You get home and away Canada Cup Lemieux fantasy jerseys. You get all this special equipment.
Travel not included.
Travel not included.
Okay. Yeah, I'd say
Mario Lemieux is my favorite player of all time.
2,500 is what I would say.
Okay.
Plus travel.
Okay. Over.
How much is it?
4K from Jimmy Parlay, 7K from Chef Benny, 8K from Whitrock, 5K from Randall, 4,500 King of Car Seats. The Juice says a dime. 15,000.
Damn.
15,000. That's what it costs.
Damn.
And I had to have a talk with my brother. I mean, he's going to pass on that opportunity. He's not going to spend $15,000 to go skate for a couple of days. And Mario's not even skating anymore. He just comes and coaches and does all this stuff. But it's one of those things that, I just thought today, you got to be kidding me. I was blown away by that number. And I don't really get blown away by
$15,000.
$15,000. That includes the Lemieux Foundation donation and all that other whatever comes. I don't know, but that was incredible. Something that I would do 100%. I would love to go do that with my brother, but not at 15,000.
30 times
Right.
to combine.
Like at some point,
Yeah,
I'm going to go. I still think I'm going to go play baseball down at the Pirates fantasy camp at some point. Get the uniform, go play for 5 days, and do all that stuff. Just got to make sure I don't pull no muscles. My last favorite thing about today is I have to do it. I have to do it. I know we're going to do it in the anniversary shows and all this other stuff, but I pulled up the favorite clip. Still top 3 moment of all time.
But I'll play the actual video on the 13th.
Oh,
I'll play the actual video. We own all of this. Don't play the audio. I'll play the actual video. I'll play it all on the 13th.
all right.
I'll play it all. We'll have the actual video clips, all of it.
Okay, you're going to get the whole thing.
Whole thing. Yes.
The whole definition.
You can send me literally, anybody can do this too. Anybody can pull a clip. You send me the whole clip or tell me the date and time the clip was there, and I will pull all of it. I'm going to pull everything off.
Okay.
I'll have it all. We'll do a whole top 10 moment on the 13th. We'll do a whole thing.
Okay.
So save it for that. So we can have
all
the
right,
full.
because I've been finding that. I've been going back and finding these clips.
Then send them all.
all
to
right.
me. Send them all, and then we'll play the.
Because I mean, we're never getting off late night. So,
Correct.
Yeah, meat curtains forever. We'll leave it at that.
That's a great point, Sonic. If it's not in the props era of the show, because they killed the whole fucking YouTube channel before we could take everything down because they're assholes. So so yes, you're right. As long as it didn't happen in the first year of the show and we have access to it. But most of the good shit's after anyway, because we had fucking we had barriers on everything we could do anyway. We couldn't say anything. We
I
couldn't
have
do
some
anything.
clips from those shows too, though.
Oh, you do?
Right. Yeah.
All right, we'll send it to me.
Yeah.
So,
All
that
right.
was, we don't have the opportunity. If they killed it. I remember going in and having a conversation. Where did all of our stuff go? Oh, we destroyed it. Oh, without telling us. Thank you. Appreciate that. You
We
shut the
got
whole
everything
fucking thing.
else.
Fine, we did, but you shut the whole
We got
fucking
everything
thing.
else.
We did on that. A couple things. First, I love Christmas. I love the Christmas season. I can't flip over quick enough after we get through a Thanksgiving. It's just quick flip right to Thanksgiving. Tree goes up, house gets decorated. We go crazy wearing the red for UNLV, but also for the holiday season. It's super fun. Don't like that the elf is back, but that's fine. The elf is back, and we'll deal with it every night on the elf. But it's always fun. It's December. I can't believe it's already December. It's like, how is it December? But it's December. It's crazy. And then look, UNLV's got a game on Friday that I don't think I ever thought we could ever see this, where they're playing not just for the Mountain West Conference Championship, a legitimate chance to get into the college football playoff. And that's crazy. So this is the last week for kids to be on campus at UNLV. They have finals the week afterwards. I don't know who's going to Boise from UNLV. Probably just a small travel party, people going up there, but they haven't lost on the road yet. UNLV hasn't lost on the road. So let's see if they can keep this miracle going. Kid quits on them. Their quarterback leaves. They got a six-year senior coming in. They go on the road last week, or at home rather. They house Nevada, whip them, paint the cannon red. So you keep that rivalry going against Nevada, against UNR, and they'll play for it all coming up on Friday night, which is going to be
How cold is it
fun.
up there?
Fucking cold.
I don't think it's worth going.
No, it's Boise, Idaho.
I want to shout out the people at the Players Era too, the basketball tournament, because that was fun.
It was awesome.
Week. It was
Other than
great.
Creighton winning only one game of the 3 they played, but that was fine.
Good because you weren't there Saturday. That's why.
But they
won.
still lost against A&M, and they choked against A&M without me being there. So
you can't even blame that one on you. You're right.
They can't blame the second loss on me.
Right.
I wasn't there. And they had
Right.
I watched the game, and I'm like, they literally melted. They had that game won, and they melted. I was like, son of a they were favored. It's like, why were they favored? Like, who favored them? I was like, why you put them as favorite?
Marshmallow's back, thank goodness.
Marshmallow's back.
It was a
Got that.
complete disaster.
Yes.
out
Yes.
for a
Steve
run.
Anderson, one of my students did ask. I told him he was nuts. He did ask me that UNLV could make the playoff in like week 2. Yes, I told him it was crazy.
Yeah.
And he's not wrong. I don't think it's going to happen, but just the fact that they could win a game and force the committee to leave them out would be great. Would be really, really great. Creighton might kind of stink. Yeah. Yeah. And you're actually, you know what, Vinny? Thank you. UConn fucking falling all the way down to 23rd in the country. That was beautiful. Watching Hurley lose his mind and lose 3 straight games. That was awesome. So yes, that's another one of my favorite things about today is that UConn sucks. The whole Big East might suck this year though. Might be kind of a step back year for the Big East. Nova's not very good. Creighton's not very good. UConn's not very good. Conference has not started very well for the Big East. Not great. Tuesday's a tomorrow day. Tomorrow for you guys. Thank you. 700. Thank you for being here for all of these shows. Can't thank you guys enough. Hit number 700, like button, subscribe, and go tell somebody about BVB. We'll see you guys back for a Tuesday episode. Dave, Matt, tomorrow on Tuesday.